What is going on, you guys? Welcome to the Radio State Podcast. This is your host, Cristopher Zamora. Welcome to the show. So now we're back. We are back on my bat cave. We are back where the podcast started. Yep, now we are back, guys, here. So today I want to speak to you about a boxing fight. A boxing fight is going to take place tonight on Saturday. By the time you're listening to this podcast, the fight is going to be finished. I'm talking about the one with Ennis versus Villa. I remember seeing the fight between Villa versus Ennis. Now that fight, I was really into it because supposedly Villa was only lost only one time, but like he had a good knockout ratio. I believe he has had like almost 18 KOs and around 20 plus wins. I'm not really sure. I'm just taking a guess, just improvising, you know. But the thing is, Ennis, he was undefeated at the time, but Villa actually beat him. It was well deserved. I really thought that maybe this guy was going to get robbed, but no, he didn't. He didn't get robbed on this fight. He won. He really won. He actually won the fight. And now, Villa is now going to fight Boots Ennis. I think these two, they're in the welterweight division. I'm not really sure on which division they are in, but I know for sure they are going to fight tonight. And that's the fight I'm looking forward to seeing. My prediction, I don't know, maybe I think it's too early for Villa, man. I saw the fight between Boots and the guy that he fought on that undercard. Boots fought the guy, and I somewhat wasn't interested in that one because, I don't know, his fighting style, to me, it was kind of boring. It wasn't that entertaining like Villa versus Ennis. And he just plays defense, almost like a Devin Haney in a way. I want to see how he does against Villa because Villa was actually given his all against Ennis, and Ennis actually went down at the ending of the 12th round. And I think that's why they gave the fight to Villa. And plus, he was winning a lot of rounds. The first few rounds, I had to say that Ennis won, but Villa won the whole fight. They made the right decision for that fight. But can Villa actually beat him? Can he actually beat Boots Ennis? I don't think so. No. Probably Boots Ennis, he's just going to play it safe, and he's not going to brawl him as much as we think he is. So my guess is that Boots Ennis is going to take the victory by decision. That's what I believe. And we also have another major fight that is going on for the UFC. This one is for Moreno versus Pantoja. Pantoja is the Brazilian guy that actually beat him one time on his career. And I believe this is the trilogy fight. Moreno is the champion on his division, but if Pantoja actually beats him, I don't think he'll get another rematch because it's a trilogy, man. I don't think that's how it works. If somebody wins the trilogy, then there's no point of a fourth fight unless it's the title on the line. But I could be wrong though. Yeah, maybe I could be wrong. And now let's just switch gears, guys. I want to speak to you about this show that I just recently started watching. I'm on episode 4 of season 1, And I have to say it's pretty good, but it's kind of frustrating to watch in a way. I am talking about the show called The Bear. Have you heard of that show? It's a culinary type of show where there's the chef that's in charge of the whole group, and they're just trying to feed the people all over Chicago. Whoever steps in, they serve the food to them. But like what this show mostly focuses is on the main character, Carmen. Yeah, I think it's Carmi. Let's just call him Carmi. Well, he just mostly focuses on getting the food right because he went to a huge restaurant, like one of the best restaurants in the world on that universe, and like his his teacher, he like taught him what he knows, and what he knows is the best thing he could ever know. But like the way that he learned it is just crazy, man. He seems like he's never in a good mood, or like he's like frustrated all the time. That's what he seems in a way, Carmi. Like you want him to succeed and you're rooting for him, but like him, he seems like he's depressed. The story about this show is mostly about, well, like his brother, he committed suicide, and his brother left him the restaurant, and now Carmi, he's in charge of the restaurant and he's running it. And before his brother actually died, he owed a debt to the person that the owner, I believe, yeah, the owner of the restaurant. He now owes him $300K. $300K. He was $300,000 in debt, and Carmi needs to give all that money to the person that is in charge of that building, which is crazy because it's gonna take him a very long time if he's just only working on that restaurant, but he's trying to make it better. And that's what mostly this show is about. It's just him just trying to remain focused on his craft and just trying to help his peers to become even better than they are right now. But like for him, he just seems so depressed, and he wants to do something right. Like he seems like he's not in a good mood all the time. Like he doesn't get mad with his crew members, but he just seems like he's sad in a way, and he just wants someone to help him, because most of the time he's been doing things by himself and nobody else has helped him in his life. Even his sister, sometimes when he speaks to her throughout the episodes, she seems very worried about him. He doesn't remain focused on his craft, which is feeding people and just helping them out with making food. That's what he was meant to do in this life. So yeah, that's what he's just mostly focusing on making the best food as possible and feeding everybody that comes into his restaurant. The main reason why I got into this show was probably because I saw a vanity video of Jeremy Allen White and Jennifer Coolidge. They were just speaking to each other and just talking about their acting careers and stuff. I didn't know who Jeremy Allen White was until that video. I knew who was Jennifer Coolidge because she is Stifler's mom on the American Pie movies, but I never knew who Jeremy Allen was until that video. And it was very interesting that they had good conversations about their careers and what they were planning to do next in their careers. And they actually showed a few clips of Jeremy Allen White's show, which is The Bear. And that is why I was interested in seeing this show. Before, when I was younger, I went to a phase where I was like really into getting into different things. Somewhat like I'm still am now, today. But like when I was younger, I wanted to be like a tattoo artist or even like a chef, like own my own restaurant, like be part of the culinary arts, I was really into that. But I remember making my my first sandwich. I messed it up. I messed it up very badly. I burned it. Because I was just following a YouTube video how this guy was doing it. It seemed easy on camera, but doing it in real life, that was difficult. I burned the first meal that I prepped. I was trying to make one for myself and also for my mom. Damn, I messed it up. That's when I called my mom, and I was like sad. I was like, Mom, I messed up. I burned food. That's what I called her for. And she was like, Cris. Yeah. But then after that, I just started just watching MasterChef. That's when I actually got inspired on learning more about the craft. But then time passed, and I kind of just forgot about it. Yeah. So as of now, I'm not really into pursuing the culinary arts, not anymore. But as of right now, I'm just mostly into creating videos like this podcast and also making horror type of videos on my channel, which is just my name, Cristopher Zamora. But like that's what mostly it is for everybody. You get into things and you just experiment on things that you like and things that you don't like. And as for me, as right now, I'm just mostly focusing on making the best videos ever. And also staying consistent with this podcast. If you guys did not notice, this is episode 30th of the podcast. And I have been posting consistently every week, every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Central Time. That's when I usually post my podcast. And I've been staying consistent since December 20th. And hopefully I just keep on being consistent with it. So yeah, man. So now I wanted to speak to you about this video game. Do you guys like video games? You probably might like this one because the story is just so great and super sad as well. It is called A Plague Tale: Innocence. There's 2 video games for this franchise as of right now. This one is about 2 kids. They were born from a high class, but like there's this plague that is going on in this world. Rats have taken over this world and disease has spread because of them. The plague has made things really bad in this world, and the 2 kids, Amicia and Hugo, they had to survive against the odds. They had to survive against people that were trying to kill them and just the rats themselves. And those rats, they are not friendly. They had to stay in the fire, like close to the light, so they won't get eaten by them. this place is so infested with rats, and they need to find a way to stay safe from them. And the good thing is that there's people around them that actually helps them. But just the journey, man, it's just the things they see and the things that they had to go through. It's just crazy. That is what makes this game so great. I already finished the very first game, and I'm already on the second one. The second one actually did came out last year around October 2022, I believe. I got it for the PlayStation 5, but to be honest, I have been mostly playing all my video games on the Steam Deck. And so I actually bought the game again, but this time for the Steam Deck. And I enjoy it, man. I didn't have to pay a full price. I actually got it half price. I believe it was $25.99. Yeah, I think that was the price for the video game. And I'd say, man, it was just a very fun game. I do recommend playing this video game if you have the time, obviously. I don't even know if it's available for the Xbox. I do believe so, but I actually got it for the PlayStation 5 and for PC. The Steam Deck, man, is just an awesome system. It's like a PlayStation. It's like a PSP version, but bigger. So look, I'm about to show you how it looks. So look, this is how the Steam Deck looks. This baby's huge, isn't it? It's a really huge system. It cost me around $500 to get the 500 gigabytes one, but it's worth it, man. This system, I've been using it since February of this year, and it's fun, man. It's a very fun system, and probably maybe it's my best purchase I have made for any game console. But yeah, like I said, guys, I do recommend it to go check out that game, A Plague Tale: Innocence. You probably are gonna like it. And it kind of did remind me of The Last of Us in a way. Like there's two main characters, and both duos like each other. Both duos want to help one another succeed on their universes. Like how Ellie and Joel help each other on that world. Amicia and Hugo, they try to help each other as well. But they're much younger than Joel and Ellie. I wonder how the second game is going to finish. I can't wait, man. I can't wait to get back on playing this video game. A Plague Tale Requiem. That's the sequel to A Plague Tale: Innocence. I think it's going to be a good one, man. I love the first one. I had to give it a 10 out of 10. I'm probably barely in like an hour and 30 minutes for A Plague Tale Requiem. It's alright so far, but the good parts, they're gonna come in soon, I believe. And yeah, guys, I think that is it for this podcast. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure to give this podcast a like and also follow it on wherever it is you're listening to it. If you're listening to it on Spotify, if you're listening to it on YouTube, make sure to follow it. And also, recommend this podcast to a friend or neighbor that likes stuff about video games, horror movies, horror video games, and anything entertainment-wise, and also about combat sports. Maybe they will enjoy this podcast as much as you do, and maybe y'all can talk about it as well. Again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in every single week and coming back and listening to me. I do appreciate you all. Like I said in the beginning of the podcast, we are back. We are back on the main room. We are back where the podcast has started. Hopefully, guys, I will see you next week for the next episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, take care and live to the fullest. Bye.